Do you ever look at your parents and analyse their behaviour? And then sometimes you actually see yourself doing the exact same thing that you see in them, and you think, oh my God, that's my mum or that's my dad. And I was actually talking about this morning, and I was recognising a pattern in myself over the years that was really being developed because of my dad, because of the behaviour that I've seen him do. And that is that my dad has always been what I would call a bit of a joker, a bit of a lad's lad. Always the one telling the jokes, always the one making the snidey comments, always the one who just comes out with some random, comment or statement and people laugh. And I've seen my dad do that over the years. And what I've actually observed, or what I've come to understand now, is that it's often in situations where my dad probably feels uncomfortable. So people are having a conversation, maybe he doesn't know what they're talking about, maybe he doesn't have any knowledge around that subject area, and it can just be a very normal, day-to-day, in-depth conversation, which my dad probably isn't used to having, because my dad's very surface level. But in those conversations, I can see my dad. I've observed him, and I've seen him where he will I can see his brain ticking, ticking, ticking. Then all of a sudden, he will come out with some random comment that is absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about. It might be quite abrupt. It could be, a bit of a joke, but people might not see it as a joke, and he'll just come out with some random comment. Normally involves a swear word, normally involves something offensive, and he'll just come out with this statement, this in the middle of a conversation. And people quite often, because they don't know what to do, is they laugh, don't they? Because that's what we do sometimes. We're just like, ha ha. And of course, my dad in those moments thinks that people are laughing with him. He thinks that he's fitting in. He thinks that, that people like him and he's part of that conversation still, even though that isn't the case. And I've seen it in myself sometimes. But because at the moment I'm really, really deepening my awareness on all sorts of levels about myself, my behaviour, my thoughts, my actions, my feelings, everything, I'm aware that I've done that over the years as well, where I've maybe made a comment, thinking that I was being funny. But I used to do that at school. I would be the class clown. That was my name. I was the class clown. I was the one who, made jokes. People laughed at me. People dared me to do things. I used to do them because, again, only with the knowledge that and awareness that I have now, is because in those moments I wanted to fit in. In those moments, I wanted to be accepted by the crowd. I wanted to be part of the friendship groups. I wanted to be somebody who had some of that attention that maybe I wasn't getting at home. But I really wanted that connection, that care, that love, that friendship. And that was the way that I thought I got it. And I became the class clown, and everybody used to laugh at me and dare me to do things. I thought they were laughing with me, but like I say, the knowledge I have now, they were laughing at me. But that became a habit for me. That became conditioned behaviour for me that I used to do, and I would make jokes, and I would be the one who's the life and soul of the party just to get that connection. And I've seen myself do it over the years. So have a look at yourself. Have a look at your parents. And this is nothing critical about anybody whatsoever. So please don't take it like that. Do it with a neutral stance. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. But when you have that level of awareness and you can look at yourself and you can accept, oh yeah, I see myself in that. That's why this happened. That's why I do this. That's why I have this belief. That's why I act in this particular way. That's why I get these particular results. Once you can see that, it's incredible. And like I say, this isn't about being critical of our parents. Our parents did life based on their conditioning and their parents who did life based on theirs. And the problem is, nobody knows how to do life. Nobody knew how to do life then. So this isn't a judgment on anybody. But because I'm a chain breaker, I want to do things differently. I don't want to fit into the mold. I want to be different. I want to do things in a way that maybe haven't been done before, and particularly haven't been done for me before. So if you're somebody like that as well, I suggest that you just take a look at yourself. without being judgmental. Give yourself the strength, the grace, the honour to be able to look at yourself through a different lens, to be able to look at yourself with a view and a mindset that actually, if I'm not happy with what I've got right now, well, let's look at this with an open mind. Let's look at this from a point of opportunity. Let's look at this from a place of growth, so that me, can actually, or you can actually analyze where we are, so that we're able to move forward and change some of those things, so that we can have a better life, so we can do things differently to what our parents did, because we are teaching ourselves how to do life properly, how to do life where we can, turn up every day with a really positive mindset. And that's not from a place of, oh yeah, let's do positive affirmations, but a positive mindset, because we understand ourselves, because we have awareness, we understand life, we understand the dreams and the goals that we have, we understand how we can achieve those, we understand how our thoughts create our feelings, we understand how feelings create our actions, we understand how our actions get our results. And if we've got something we don't like, this is the work to do. So start by taking a look at yourself with a really open mind, not judgmental. Put your hand on your heart, give yourself some love, take some breaths, and learn how to love yourself in a way that feels good. Have an incredible day.